Psalm 108, a song, a psalm of David. My heart is steadfast, O God. I will sing and make melody with all my being. Awake, O harp and lyre. I will awake the dawn. I will give thanks to you, O Lord, among the peoples. I will sing praises to you among the nations. For your steadfast love is great above the heavens. Your faithfulness reaches to the clouds. Be exalted, O God, above the heavens. Let your glory be over all the earth. That your beloved ones may be delivered. Give salvation by your right hand and answer me. God has promised in his holiness. With exultation I will divide up Shechem and portion out the valley of Succoth. Gilead is mine, Manasseh is mine, Ephraim is my helmet, Judah my scepter, Moab is my wash basin. Upon Edom I cast my shoe, over Philistia I shout in triumph. Who will bring me to the fortified city? Who will lead me to Edom? Have you rejected us, O God? You do not go out, O God, with our armies. O grant us help against the foe, for vain is the salvation of man. With God we shall do valiantly. It is he who will tread down our foes. Vain is the salvation of man. The Hebrew word translated vain means empty or worthless. The deliverance that man can provide has zero weightiness behind it. It is of no accord. When life falls apart, when our sins overwhelm us, when darkness presses in and does not lift, what will our pathetically limited human resources provide? And most supremely, when we come to stand before God, the Holy One, what human cleverness or obedience or accomplishments will we dare parade before him? Vain is the salvation of man. Left to our own resources, we can only feel as David did. Have you not rejected us, O God? On the other hand, with God we shall do valiantly. Few have felt the impotence of humanly contrived methods of salvation more so than Martin Luther, the German reformer of the 16th century. In his book, The Bondage of the Will, he wrote, God has assuredly promised his grace to the humble, that is, to those who lament and despair of themselves. But no man can be thoroughly humbled until he knows that his salvation is utterly beyond his own powers, devices, endeavors, will, and works, and depends entirely on the choice, will, and work of another, namely, of God alone. For as long as he is persuaded that he himself can do even the least thing toward his salvation, he retains some self-confidence and does not altogether despair of himself, and therefore he is not humbled before God, but presumes that there is, or at least hopes or desires that there may be, some place, time, and work for him by which he may at length attain to salvation. But when a man has no doubt that everything depends on the will of God, then he completely despairs of himself and chooses nothing for himself, but waits for God to work. Vain is the salvation of man, but with God on our side, we shall triumph.